Ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Bee has a full frontal episode or documentary on a woman who leaked information, some say proves that Russia colluded with Trump's administration. There's no evidence at all, but, and a lot of times, whatever is classified or classified data or information that is unveiled or released or discovered might not be accurate or factual or rooted in reality. So simply the mere fact that you leak information doesn't mean, or intelligence, doesn't mean that it's accurate. When John Brennan was asked, does he have any evidence of Trump-Russia, he said, I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. Nonetheless, so there was no evidence, and the United States government never indicted anyone, including Russian intelligence officials, based on data, facts, information, evidence derived from the U.S. government. The 18 Russian intelligence officials were indicted from Company One's information. Company One was outsourced by the Democratic Party. But anyway, Samantha Bee, why am I starting off with this? Samantha Bee has a documentary on Reality Winner, who I agree was being unfairly treated by President Trump's administration, and now by Biden's administration. But who set the groundwork for this? President Obama's administration, by ignoring the plight and people like Samantha Bee, who markets and advertises her documentary or her episode, her feature on Reality Winner with, well, you've heard about these bros, referring to Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, but you haven't heard about this woman. Well, America hasn't heard about that woman because people like Samantha Bee abandoned and ignored the struggle and plight of Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, and turned their back on a publisher, turned their back on a person who blew the whistle when it wasn't politically expedient for Democrats, when the information published was detrimental to the Democratic Party, showed absolute massive corruption, that Bernie Sanders was being cheated, forcing Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign in disgrace. President Obama's administration utilized the Espionage Act more than any other president combined. I'll get to that in a second. But you have this. So I'll start off with that. You have Samantha Bee doing essentially a documentary on this woman who should be free. I agree with Samantha Bee on that. But she has a platform in Hollywood. People like her and others within Hollywood have a platform to speak out when it's detrimental to their own political side, and they don't do it. And then they complain, well, Justice Department secretly obtained, I'm reading this. Justice Department secretly obtained AP phone records, May 14th, 2013. That's NPR. We'll get to that in a second. But here, Insider, Trump DOJ secretly pulled Washington Post reporters' phone records and tried to score email records. That's what President Obama did. Numerous times, President Obama's administration also spied on Dianne Feinstein's Senate panel when they were investigating Bush-era scandals. No outrage from the left. No outrage from Samantha Bee. Julian Assange is in prison right now. For what? Chelsea Manning, her sentence has already been commuted, thank God. Or essentially, it was a pardon. It was not a full technical pardon, but essentially she was pardoned. So why are they going after Assange for working alongside, or for allegedly helping Chelsea Manning, who President Obama already pardoned? Again, you don't have Assange, Snowden. Nobody has been indicted on working alongside Russian intelligence officials. Nobody. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I've written about this in the Huffington Post. You could read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, The Times of Israel, The Daily Caller, other publications. You could see my debates. If you want to support my voice long-term, my Patreon is below. But ladies and gentlemen, Trump secretly pulled Washington Post reporter. Trump Justice Department sought phone records of Washington Post reporters. Democrats, activists blast Trump DOJ effort to get journalists' phone records. Yeah, that's wrong. But you know what also? You cannot go after President Trump. Well, that was wrong to do. It was wrong for President Trump's administration to do that. Who set the groundwork? Who set the precedent? Democrats, Hollywood, journalists who were quiet and complicit, or I should say, they simply allowed this type of behavior to fester, to grow, to spread, to become normal, and didn't show any outrage, didn't try to curb or prevent this from happening in the future because it was their political side. You're talking about the biggest hypocrites of all time. Okay? You're talking about the most disingenuous, duplicitous. You have people at Mother Jones, allegedly, working or obtaining information from the FBI, and then filtering that information and helping BuzzFeed and others publish an absurd compilation of rumors and gossip. You have the most left-leaning liberal journalists embedded or working alongside or helping foster or spread information that intelligence operatives want communicated to the American public. That is complete and utter nonsense. You had President Obama who went after more journalists than any other president ever. And when I started this segment when Samantha Bee says, with the commercial trying to publicize her documentary on Reality Winner, when she starts off with, "You've heard about these bros, but what about this woman?" Yeah, you haven't heard about this woman who should be free, but you haven't heard about her because people in Hollywood, people in journalism, people in the American political establishment, especially to the left of center, abandoned, turned their back on Assange, for example, simply because he published information detrimental to their own political side. These are the same people who allowed President Obama his administration to continually target journalists and utilize the Espionage Act against journalists, but not his own Secretary of State, who deserved that legal statute because she broke the legal statute with private servers for 4 years. Could you imagine if Mike Pompeo had private service for 4 years? Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he had top secret intel on private servers, SAP intel, and had his 3 attorneys, delete 30,000 emails? Do you think, no, suddenly you'd have investigative journalists? But here, Trump Justice Department secretly obtained Post reporters' phone records. Well, here, you have this precedent that's set. So, AP fact check. Obama was harsh against leakers. September 11, 2018. So the facts, Trump may use extraordinary. This is one of the few fact checks that actually got things right because President Obama's administration engaged in such egregious actions. Trump may use extraordinary rhetoric to undermine trust in the press. By the way, there shouldn't be blind trust or allegiance to anything. Probably the stupidest and dumbest critique of President Trump is that he undermined trust in our institutions. Why should you have trust in institutions without these institutions proving they're trustworthy? My God, where is this logic, this bizarre Orwellian logic that has now captivated so many on the left? But Obama arguably went farther, using extraordinary actions to block the flow of information to the public. The Obama administration used the 1917 Espionage Act with unprecedented enthusiasm, prosecuting more people under that law for leaking sensitive information to the public than all previous administrations combined. Obama's Justice Department dug into confidential communications between news organizations and their sources as part of that effort. In 2013, the Obama administration obtained the records of 20 Associated Press office phone lines and reporters' home and cell phones, seizing them without notice. Okay, 20 journalists. 20 journalists. Far more than what was accused of President Trump. And that's just the Associated Press. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. I mean, we can get into... You have President Obama setting the groundwork for all of this, and liberals like Samantha Bee, who were silent all throughout President Obama's administration, and only now, because it's President Trump, or it was President Trump, vocal about only certain people, but not others. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. And I agree with Samantha Bee, by the way. But part of the reason that, like I said, part of the reason Reality Winner is in jail right now is because Samantha Bee was silent with Assange and Snowden and others. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.